companies should go digital because there's this COVID situation, and also one of the things you want to do is to go to a broader audience, to reach more people, to get involved with them, and hopefully they will become your customers. But there's also this challenge, which is finding the right way to make live shopping to sell and to give you the tools for you to get the most advantage of this. Livescale is one of the most amazing and powerful platforms to do so. So stay tuned because in a moment I will be back to talk about it. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the Special Marketing Live Show. I think it's the 20th episode of the sixth season. And today we're going to talk about live shopping, about how you can use LiveScale to keep selling, to keep engaging with your audience, to keep your business going, because it's very important. When you have a business, you have to keep selling. So today is the day to talk about it. But before that, just let me know, where are you located? Where in which platform are you watching us? Okay, so I can say, and I can say hello to you, and also let me know if it's everything okay. And if you know someone who may likes this broadcast, if this could be helpful for them, please share it, tag them in the on comments so they can join the conversation or even watch the replay. If you are watching now, feel free, like Arnaldo. Hello, Arnaldo. Olá, Arnaldo. Grande abraço para o Rio de Janeiro. Feel free to make your comments and make your questions so we can help you. Hello, Lillian. Good to see you here also. And if you are watching the replay, don't forget to tag Ellen if you want her to ask to answer you. Okay, and also I think it's on the, I will share on the in the comments the places where you can find more about Livescale. But before that, we have to bring Helen to the stage. Let's see if he's there. Okay, there you go. Hello, Helen. How are you?
How are you?
I'm very good. First of all, thank you so much for being here. It's a pleasure. We had already two shows on Livescale House, and then it's time to bring you here. Well, you were in the, when I made my first anniversary of LinkedIn Live, you were my guest also.
Yeah. I was there for a bit as well. Thank you so much for having me today as well.
Well, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you here because live shopping, it's a very important thing, and Livescale does it really well. It's a very powerful platform, and I think it's good for my community to talk about it. So, Ellen, I will ask you please to introduce yourself and to talk a little bit about Livescale, and maybe at the end we can show something we have here on the backstages so people can know a little bit more about Livescale, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So what Livescale does, basically, we combine live streaming, e-commerce, and social media all in one platform. So what we do is, like, while you're chatting with your friends, while you're watching a live streaming and watching about the live streamer, the host, to demonstrate a product, to tell you about their favorite collection, you can also make a purchase right away while you're watching that. So that basically what Livescale is doing, and then what live shopping is all about as well. And me, I'm Helen. I'm working on the product marketing at Livescale. So I'm basically here to share all the information and insight that I have within our communities, but also in Asia, where live shopping has been a phenomenon for like years. So I'm coming from Asia. So what I do here is I basically bring my expertise and my insight from also the world in Asia, and then to decode it, what are the actionable tips for businesses in the West, how you can adapt to live shopping in 2021 to get your brand started in these new normal life as well.
Perfect. I have something to ask you about that, but before that, let's just play this amazing video.
Welcome to Livescale, where brands can stand out and sell live. Most brands leverage video, social media, and e-commerce. At Livescale, we combine all three into a seamless, fully integrated white label solution that boosts your awareness, brand engagement, and sales conversion rate. From the moment you start with Livescale, you'll have access to a brand-owned dashboard where you'll have full control over how your brand looks and feels, even which products you'd like to sell live. Your unique event URL can be shared directly to your community, wherever they may be. Newsletter blasts, SMS, or social media. Be bold. Ready to maximize website traffic? Stand out by embedding your live shopping event directly on any website. During your event, benefit from Livescale's engagement features controlled by you in real time. If sales are your objective, Livescale's integrated checkout creates a frictionless experience. Orders occur directly in your e-commerce system, and the customer doesn't have to leave the experience once. No production team? No problem. Connect an iPhone, use multiple cameras, or stream from anywhere with your favorite co-host. Post-event, view analytics in your dashboard. Download a recording for later use, and just like that, you're standing out.
Very good, very good. I love this presentation. I have so much to ask you about Livescale and all these advantages. But before that, I have to ask you this. Which were the main difference you found when you came from Asia to the West? Which was because I think one of even though I didn't deal with people from China, well, we have here some Chinese stores, but I had this closer contact to someone who is from India, and I think there's a kind of different thing. You have the transaction more in mind. I mean, for instance, here and mostly here in Latin people, before we do business, we go eat, we go drink, we go everywhere. We talk about the family, the cat, the dog, the flowers, the football, the soccer or football or whatever, and then we do business. We like each other. I think in Asia it's a little bit different, right?
Yeah, so I'm coming from Asia, so I born and raised there, and that's also why I know a lot about things happening there. And I also worked there, but I also worked in Europe for a couple of years, and then now I'm in North America. So what I can tell you is not just Asia and North America that has a huge difference. Even Asia and Europe, between Europe and North America, there's a huge difference too. And the main difference is, I think, the personality and the basic fundamental of how a human behaves is the same, right? We all like to communicate with people. We all like to be heard. That's why live streaming is one of the really, really cool technology for people nowadays, because they're able to talk to you and you can give a shout out and communicate with them directly. And this is something I see in common between all the countries that I've been and worked with and the cultures as well. But what makes it like really different between Asia and Europe or North America in general, in my opinion, especially on the topics of live shopping, is in Asia, there's like a really, really huge culture of shopping. It's a big part of their life. And that's also why you can see like every time there's like the single day in China, there's like the Chinese New Year, or like there are other kind of festival that they will do like a huge sales. And the sales number is incredible, not just because they have an incredible amount of people, but also because they dedicate a huge part of their time and their money, the resources that they have in shopping. It's something like it's one of their main joy, right? That's something that they enjoy doing. And what I can see, it's quite different than from Asia to here, is because probably in Europe and in North America, apart from shopping, they also enjoy a lot of all the other things because of their cultures and the way that they acted in their culture. So that's why, and also taking in the new technology and a new solution, it's a little bit, they like to take their time. In Europe and in North America, they like to wait and see what other brands perspective. And from the customer perspective, they're really comfortable with what they have today. So they don't feel the need to try so many new things like every day. But that's also something very different in Asia culture, is like if there's a new app, everybody have it on the phone. That's a really different thing from a brand's perspective and also from an end user perspective to do things, right? Because if your audience is really eager to try things, you don't have to do much. They're already there for you. You just have to be fun on that platform. But in here, you probably have to, of course, first of all, build a really interesting concept to get people to this new solution. If you have faith in this solution and think it can bring great values to your brand or to your company. So these are the differences that I can see from the culture. But again, I think in the end, there's still also a lot of similarity in how you can captivate an audience from different culture. They all just want to be listened, and they want to have interaction with you, and that's what you can make them stay as well.
Absolutely. Well, we have by talking about connection, Lillian is asking me to put you to connect with her. So at the end, I'm pleased to connect each other. So for,
Brilliant. Nice to
for,
meet you.
for further collaboration. So Ellen,
Mhm.
uh, which advantage, and we are in this situation, I think live shopping would be a reality sooner or later here in the Europe and on America. But I think this COVID thing make the change go faster. Which advantages do you find about this live shopping broadcasts? How can companies? And one of the things I was asked when I was at your webinar, the first one, was which kind of companies could take advantage of this. So if you can wrap in one answer these two questions, it will be great.
I'll try. So basically, the advantage of doing live shopping is, like I said, it's a combination of social media, live streaming, and an e-commerce platform all at once. And let's compare with the existing solution, right? Existing solution is like we see a lot of brands started doing live streaming on Instagram, on Facebook since the pandemic is happening, because that will become like the only stages that they have to communicate with their audience. But in the end of the day, every brand wants to sell their product, right? That's clear. But on Instagram and Facebook, currently every live that you have, after the customer go on the live and then they click on the product, there's so many click, and then you go to get a product. So the journey is not as seamless as it could be. So the conversion rate is also not great as this could have been. And there's one thing. And the second thing is, I couldn't emphasize that enough, is for all the brand, you want to invest the resources in something that is long term and something that is belong to you, because you never know if that platform is going to be a hit anymore at some point. You don't know if that platform fits your brand personality anymore or your brand identity, and you want to get off that platform, and all those money that you throw in that platform, it's all gone. But with live shopping, with Livescale, because we're like fully brand owned solution, is basically we bring a little social media back to your website that you can put all your brand color, your branding, your logos. People see it as your own live shopping show. So whatever resources that you're putting in, the traffic that you're sending, it's all go back to your website. So I think this is the greatest advantage. And I want to quote directly what Marco has actually mentioned last time in the live in the webinar that we did with Stephanie, is on social media platform, there's one thing that we all scared of as a marketer or like brand. It's like, it's so easy to get distracted. While I'm watching a live shopping show, oh, I saw a notification that someone else is doing a live too. I'm just going to run there. You're gone. That's it. You lost your audience. But if you bring them, you do all the paid media. You bring the traffic from whatever you want them to, you want to bring them from, to your website for these live shopping shows. They're there. There's zero distraction except you want to distract them, to buy something, to just interact with them using poll, chat with them, but it's all yours. So I think this is one of the really, really great advantages as well that Marco has mentioned last time. It's like you have a really, really focused audience that is all there for you.
Absolutely, and this is for me it's crucial because as Gary V usually says, this is a attention economy. So if you are in a place competing with too many things, it's like you have a baby on the playground and you have the TV and you have cars, you have Barbies, you have which the baby plays with the car and then he plays with the Barbie and then he goes to watch TV. If he or she just have the TV, it's there. I think it's very important. And also this thing at your home, it's you who make the rules. And on social media, it's not like that. Okay, so I think it's also very important. We have here Stephen. Hello, Stephen. Good to have you here. And well, I think one of the things that people may think about is because we have this concept of live shopping, kind of a table where people put the products and they talk about them. But I think we can make more than just this kind of show. Can you talk about your what are your clients doing with live shopping, please?
Sorry, I couldn't hear the last sentence.
If you can talk about like showcasing some formats your clients are doing with live shopping, which are not just selling, selling, selling.
Yeah, absolutely. So we see, okay, let's talk about the selling first, and then we can go into the not selling, because in the end, live shopping, it's a selling tool. So I want to just quickly go through that. So apparently, live shopping, you can do different kind of like new product launch, like flat sales. That's just like really obvious concept that you can do with live shopping that can bring you a lot of sales. But apart from that, what kind of other thing you can do? It's like, for example, engagement, community bonding. I will also say, even though live shopping in the end of the day is a really good for your sales, is a sales engine tool, but it's also a really, really great community bonding and building tool. I'll give an example. If you have a regular show and you invite a host, let's say Helen is the host, I'm going to do a weekly show with you, just checking in every Monday morning to get ready with you and have a morning coffee, morning brew, and see how are you doing. And we talk about my skin problem. We can talk about my mood, self-care, what I'm reading recently. I build that connection. And then every last Friday of the month, let's say, is the day that I'm going to recommend to you every product that I like, that I'm obsessed with in this month. And then you will more likely to want to purchase it because you like me, you like my personality, you feel like you connected with me. I'm like one of your friends that I talk to every week, Monday morning, that we every Monday morning talk about how hard it is to get out of the bed on the Monday morning. You feel like you can relate to me. So when I recommend you a product, it's more likely that you will probably go on trying instead of someone else that you don't know at all to recommend you a product. So this is something that you can do with live shopping, like a series that you craft like a little story to do a lot of engagement, interaction, community bonding, nurturing, and then in the end you kick off that sales shows that is drive to home that you want sales. So that could be one of the format you can do as well. And we can also see, for example, one of our client Longcom work with the international level, global level influencer that is like a little promotion for her a new product launch as well. It's not right on the D-Day that the product is launched, right? But still, that's community, that show allows lots of audience to be there and to have a real-time conversation via the chat with that global influencer. So that's the engagement rate. I just have to quickly check it right now. The engagement was amazing. We have like 200K comments and like, and 46K views. Yeah, that's an absolutely unforgettable live shopping experience. And all of the people that have joined the show, no matter the host, the brand, or the audience, they're all happy about it because they all felt like they're involved in the show. And that's what makes live streaming and live shopping a really remarkable experience. And what is great about on top of that is like they can even buy the newly launched product from that influencer that they love in between conversation, right? So that will be one of the few examples that I can share about how you can use live shopping instead of just doing a sales show.
Absolutely, sounds very good. We have Miguel. Hello, Miguel. Bem-vindo.
Hey.
And we have a question, a very interesting question from Lillian. How is different Livescale to Shopify?
Sorry, how Livescale and how is different?
Yes.
Okay, it's not. Sorry, I didn't miss the comment. It's not different. It's compatible. So if you are a store on Shopify, we are one of the app on Shopify that you can already download. And then there you go. Download the app, launch app, create an account, Livescale. There you go. You have your own live shopping network that you can use on your own website. So there's no different, but it's complementary because on the Shopify, you have an e-commerce platform, but you don't have the social media component and you don't have a live streaming component. And what Livescale do is like a really, really great glue that glue everything in. And then on top of that, we add even more stuff like, because on social media, you cannot ask your audience question with like a little poll. We have that. And then we also have like product highlight that you can click on the product that's getting highlighted in the corner of the video, and then you bring you straight to the product that you can make a purchase. And on Shopify, if you want to have like a video on the Shopify, people watch the video, they click the product, and then they have to get out of the video to finish the purchase. So this is also something that Shopify or e-commerce sector currently is missing. And what live shopping is doing is we put them all together. While you finishing or checking out the product, going through the checkout process, you can still hear and then see the live video on the side or in the background if you're with mobile. So this is something how it's not like how we're different to Shopify, but how we can work with Shopify, in fact.
Absolutely, absolutely, very, very good. And I have a company, but maybe this live shopping is not for me. Do you listen to this often? What are the most common misconceptions about live shopping you face?
Absolutely. So one of the most asked question that I receive is like, "Oh, is live shopping an impulsive marketing tool?" So people just feel excited in that specific hour, and then they're not happy with their purchase. I would say yes and no. It depends on how you utilize the solution. I'll be lying to tell you no, 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 not at all, because I can't control how you use the solution. But I can tell
Absolutely.
you how you can make it a good tool instead of not a good tool. So basically, the good thing about live streaming is you maxed out the fear of missing out because it's just 1 hour. If your sales is happening only in that 1 hour, yes, probably it's a bit it costs a lot of impulse buy. But how can you ensure that impulse buy is not impulse buy, but it stays, no refund, no return? It's utilize your live streaming, ask them question. If they have question that it's asked, answer them. So when they make that purchase in that short hour, it's a really, really well-informed purchase. They're not buying it because they're blind by anything. They're buying it because they asked all the questions, they really testify, and they're really clear, this is exactly what I want because all my concern has been solved. So this is why they make a purchase at the end. So this is one of the questions that I get asked the most. And then the other question is, oh, is my business or my industry fits live shopping? Again, I'm going to be really honest. I will be lying if I tell you live shopping is for everybody. For example, live shopping works really well for product that it's visually you can demonstrate it visually. If you can take advantage or you can benefit from a visual demonstration, that's really great for you. Obvious example, fashion industry, cooking. When you see the food, you want to buy them. That, absolutely. And I have tons of data that I can share with you from China or from Asia. Basically, food and beverage is one of the best industry out there that is doing live shopping. And plus, like, it's food. You will say, oh, I bought a clothes while that live shopping show and I didn't like it, so I refund it. That could happen. I'm not gonna lie. It's the same when you go in store, you buy something, you also have someone
Yeah,
coming
absolutely.
you in and return. Exactly. For food, well, I can just eat it. That is also why food has a significantly less return rate we can see from Asia compared to all the other industry, no matter in e-commerce in general or in live shopping, because it's food. They can at least eat it, right? So the other thing, some industry that is not visually cannot beneficial from visual demonstration, but it's also good for live shopping. For example, if your industry involve a lot of professional in there, like they will need a lot of professional advice, they will need a lot of expertise to understand the product, then you can take advantage of live shopping because it's almost like mimicking an in-store experience. Because the audience or the potential customer, they can come to your live shopping show, like your live stream, ask you a question. For example, oh, I want to purchase a consultation course, let's say, but I want to know if my case fits that. Instead of doing a one-on-one call to see if you can get that services booked, you can do a live stream because, like, again, I'm going to crow Marco directly because that was a brilliant point. That is one question that you answer from the chat. You probably have 5 questions in that, or 5 people have that question in mind, but they were too afraid, they forgot, they're just not motivated enough to ask you. But by answering that one question in the chat, you actually solved 5 people's doubts that you might end up 6 purchase. You never know. And this is the magic about live shopping. It's like, instead of doing, for consultation service in particular that I'm talking here, instead of doing a 1-1 to try to convince a client, bring that to 1-to-many. Utilize and max out your charm and your answer to as much people as possible, because you still maintain that 1-1 interaction by giving a shout out, answering dedicated to that person's questions. So this is something that people usually think, oh, maybe we can't do with consultation service because it's not something physical, you can't sell that. So it's really yes and no's. It really depends on how you use the tool. So fashion, beauty, skincare, food and beverage, even kitchen appliance, because you can demonstrate how to use this blender, for example, how quiet it is. This is another thing that it's really good for the industry, because we are so afraid that the company is going to edit the video and the products are just going to come different. And then we will check review to make sure that they're telling us the truth. You can't lie in live streaming, and that's the best review they can see. They want to know if the blender is noisy. Click the button, show them how noisy it is or how quiet it is. So it's like they're reading a real-time review that it's no way that it's a fake review even.
Absolutely. Maybe, well, maybe they can turn a little bit the microphone. Yeah, but I think it is true thing brought to the table on live streaming. It's very important to make it work really well. So after this how can okay, I know that live streaming is for me. How can I craft things to start my live shopping journey?
Yeah,
Which
absolutely.
advices do you have for me?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, watch one of the webinar we did with Mako, Fight the Fear of Going Live, because you probably have a lot of fears in your mind about going live, about technical setup, the expectation, how to do the test run, etc. And Mako did an amazing webinar with us to talk about how what the expectation you be setting, what sort of technical setup you should have for your live shopping show. So the first one, just know what you need to know for the fundamental and the essential. And the second one is if you felt like you're not experienced in that live streaming field or live shopping in general, or sorry, live shopping or live streaming in general, hire or work with someone that is really experienced in that to save yourself from spending the time and resources to fill the knowledge gap. Why? Because there are a lot of things that you have to prepare and you have to understand and learn for these new technology that you have to adapt to. So for things that you can benefit from experienced people, work with them, partner with them. So there's another webinar that we did with Stephanie actually last week. It's about how to pick your remote live producer, and Mako is one of them, right? With people like Mako, like Stephanie, like any other remote live producer, they know exactly.
Steven, for instance.
Yeah, there's like a list of things that they can already tell you from the get-go, even knowing any concept that you have, what you have to check. And then what Stephanie has mentioned in the last webinar that I think is really important as well is about the troubleshooting. That's where, like, if everything goes well, you're good. But
Absolutely.
really, really see their values in the lifetime while like you have to troubleshoot something. You don't even know where to start when you have a problem, but they know. And also Stephanie also have mentioned like, oh, if you don't know what happened and then there's like some mistake or like glitches, what you're gonna do? They know exactly what to do. They probably already asked you for a video that's to cover glitches like that while people has to wait for you guys to solve the problem. So this is the value of working with an experienced people. So here's one thing that you can do is to partner with people with experience, and then how to craft your live shopping show. I think one of the things that is really important as well is to understand your KPI to test if these live shopping technologies for your brand. So don't try to tailor to sales at the first goal because you will need time to get used to it. So when you're crafting your first series, try to set a really small KPI for each one and try to do at least like 3 or 4 of them to test it out whether, oh, your team is familiar enough to do that or not. If your current influencer that you're working with or host that you have, it's good enough for that or not, or do you need to work with some external agency that actually have a KOS army that we mentioned, that key opinion seller, that they're really good at converting a browser or viewer to a buyer. And then the third one is, okay, what concept, what format that works the best for our community? Try to plan that and think ahead. And then after you settle down for the test that you want to do for your live shopping series, list out what would be the information that you would need for the D-Day, right? That's another point that you would need a remote live producer because there's so many things that I can mention to you what you need to do to audio, video feed testing, website feed testing, etc. And then in the end, okay, you might have a question in mind. Okay, so I craft my live shopping and then how can I utilize that? And what if it doesn't perform well? So when you're crafting that, you probably think about that. And that's also one thing you can craft is while you're crafting what to do for your live shopping series, try to think about post-event. Try to craft what you can utilize and what you can do with the live shopping video that you can download. For example, with Livescale, there are a lot of ways that you can download your live streaming video, and with Livescale, you can also download that. How you can repurpose that. Maybe you can reuse the content to put it on a social media platform to show the product demonstration clips. You can use it on your YouTube channel just to accumulate like a huge base of your live shopping video. You can create a landing page out of it. You can do an email blast. Just like in our video that we've mentioned. That video, you can just do so many things with it. So this is how you can craft your first live shopping event. Is a lot about what you're going to do pre-event, pay media, how do you get the preparation work done during the live, and then post-event.
Very important watching. Again, one of the important things about this, and it's important in everything, is consistency. And I think sometimes people have this problem. Oh, okay, I tried first time and then didn't went well. Okay, so it doesn't work for me. I will try something else. And again, it's something you should do often. You should do in a consistent way. And also, you mentioned about this importance of bringing a live producer. And the other day, I was talking with a web designer, and I asked him, because this is a common question. Why do you think that people should hire you instead of going to YouTube, learn how to make a website? And he said to me, because the first website I made, it was so bad. So you should not, when it's about your business, I think it's too risky. The first doing all by yourself, it's something you learn on YouTube, and this showing this image to your audience, to your public, I think it's very risky. So I think it's yes. And I've seen the live you made with Stephanie, and it's the video available.
Yes.
I
Yes.
think you should go to once the show is ended, you should go to the Livescale YouTube channel and find this video, because Stephanie shared good, amazing insights about the production and remote production, because it's very important, this situation. And also how the Western companies, brands are embracing this live shopping world. And also, if you can show something about Livescale, but I think people are curious to know a little bit what it's hidden in the back of the stages.
Yeah, absolutely. So before I show you guys how you can create an event, so you can have a look of the what the dashboards look like, and if you use the services of the product of Livescale, how can you actually create an event, etc. So we see a lot of different company using our service that is in different industry. You can see jewelry, you can see fashion, you can see food, you can see skincare, beauty, hair product, etc. And let me just take you guys through our dashboard right now. I'm just going to share my screen. Can you guys see my screen right now?
Okay, let me share it. There you go.
Can you guys see it right now? Okay.
Yes.
Cool. So here you can see the dashboard is pretty straightforward. And let me take you through on how you can create an event. I'm just going to enlarge this. You click create an event, and then you put your event titles. I'm just going to do test event here. And then you will be able to do your own event URL link as well, because it's a fully branded show, right? So if you say this is a winter collection, you can even name your URLs like winter collections, the way that you want it to be. So there's a note for your team, and then you pick the day, and then you can pick the host for your live shopping show. You click next, you upload your logo, you upload your banner, because it's fully branded. So you can put whatever you want for your brand logo, your brand color, and the banner for that live shopping show. And then you put an invitation message that is for people to know when they first land on the page. So you can either tell them who are the host or what is the discount that is going on there. I'm just going to put welcome for us to have a look of how it looks like. You can see it over here. You have a countdown for people to know when the show is starting. So which is really great, because when you are trying to promote an event beforehand and you're already sending people to this page, and then they land on the page, but it's not happening yet. And at least they know when it's going to happen. And then they can also add to calendar if they arrive early, so they can get a reminder while the show is going to happen. So then you click next. Next thing you have to do is you connect to the product. Like the question that we just received, Lydian, I think, is that like different than Shopify? No, it's fully complementary. And how it's complementary, look at here. Once you connected your service with what your product with Livescale and then your Shopify store, basically the collection, it's all here. You just have to select that specific collection that you want to use for that live shopping show. Nothing else you have to do. Product image, product price, product description, it's all here. And that's basically it. That's how you create an event. You create an event, and then you're good to go. So this is how easy it is to create an event with Livescale. And I can also show you a little bit of how the behind the scene looks like when you're actually going live. Because I think this is a lot of, it's really interesting for a lot of brands, because they don't know what they can do. And they have not much idea of how it looks like, because on Instagram or Facebook, it's just like basically you click live and that's it, right? So here you can see you have like a KPI here, which is really great, because your moderator or your team will be able to monitor how many viewers you have, how many orders you're getting, how many sales you're getting, or even product view that you're getting. So you can adopt your strategy right away in real time to tell your host, hey, maybe they don't know that there's a product that they can purchase. Remind them, or like you can highlight the product. If you click here, the product will show up in the corner. I will show you here in the corner of the video. And then they will be able to click and then just to make a purchase. So that's also one thing that you can do while you can benefit from knowing the real-time KPI. And so that pretty much is actually the control room. It's pretty straightforward. You have the KPIs to look at. You can highlight different product during the show. You can moderate a chat, so you can like talk to people, notify a viewer to collect the email in a private setup one. You can initiate a poll to ask them questions, so they can answer a question a bit more like gamified feature that you can use with Livescale. This is how the backstage look like, but I think maybe some of your audience is not familiar with our product as well. Maybe I can give a bit more context by showing you how the end user product, the customer, the live experience looks like. Mm-hmm. So here's one example. Oh, before that, do you have any question for me, Marco? Sorry.
No. I'm loving it.
Okay, cool. So here you can see that's an e-commerce website, right? And then they have a homepage that has a button that go into the live shopping show. So what happened when you click on that? The live shopping show open overlay, you can still see the website behind that, open overlay. So it's like really like seamless experience. And then you click join now, and you enter right to the show. And then on the mobile, because we are of course responsive design, so on the mobile you have like the design that is not going to interrupt the video experience as well, and you can browse the product. So you can also have the chat. If you click on the product, you see directly the product here, variation. You can either buy now, and then it takes you right to the shipping information. That's exactly what I'm talking about. With the existing live that you have anywhere else, it's like, oh, I'm watching the video, and the moment that I start trying to make a purchase, I lost the video. When you lost the video, it's not the reason why you come, probably. And you're coming for that video, for that content, you get demotivated. You want to go back to the video, so you don't finish the purchase. But what we're doing here, you still hear the video, and you can still hear the audio. You see the video in the background while you're doing your purchase. And even though right after you finish, you just go right back. There you go. You're back to the live. So this is basically how the experience looks like for the brand's customer side. It's pretty straightforward for them. Everything that they're used to, going to chat. You can here's the one that I mentioned, that you can collect the email. So this context is that, there's a giveaway. And then the operator picked this chat message viewer as the winner. And you will get this pop-up to give an email. So the brand also have a way to collect information in a 1-1 setup.
Do you have any poll tool? So people, for instance, okay, today we're gonna give away something. And you can make it randomly, for instance, at the end?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have these. You can ask questions. Like, for example, I'm doing a demonstration for a beauty product. So which color you want me to wear? Like, you want me to put on the pink eyeshadow, or you want me to put on silver eyeshadow, or glitter? And then you put the answer here, and then on the end user side, there will be a poll pop up just like here, and asking you, okay, which color? And then you pick. What is great about that is you can even share the result after. Everybody says, I'm just going to stop sharing so I can talk. And what is great about that is, like, after you share the poll result, after you share the poll, you can also share the poll result. And the interesting thing with that is, like, it's like the live streaming show, it's co-write with the viewer. Absolutely. You ask them a question, and then you do exactly what they want. And this is also why, and there's another great point that Marco has mentioned, give them incentive, reward them, make them feel special. They come to the show, they take that specific hour of time to join you, and then they say they want you to put on pink eyeshadow, and you really do it. And they really have that. They felt like they have a say on your content. And this is how you can make your audience feel like, oh, these brands listen to me. Like I said, everywhere in the world, everybody wants to be heard.
Absolutely. And this could be also a nice way to know better the market. So many companies struggle to know better their clients. If you have this tool to interact with them in real time, when they are there talking with you, I think it's amazing. It's amazing to get those insights. Do you have, talking about insights, some insights about the usage of the companies, the brands in the West about live shopping?
I can share some of our client result, so you can have like a better ideas as in like how it works for different brands. Let's take a look at one of the brands that I like the most, which is Jenny Bird, a Canada-based jewelry brand. And the reason why I love that show is because basically Jenny Bird herself is the founder of the company, also the designer for all the product. She went on the show all by herself at her bedroom, and then to introduce to you the new collection, the story behind why she loves this and how she's going to match it. And then she's answering questions like, oh, Jenny, I want to see if you matches these chain with these chains, how it's going to look like. She was like, all right, no problem. And then she wear it. And then she'll be like, okay, Jenny, can you recommend me another set to match with this chain? And then she was just like on spot picking either from the previous collection or from the new collection, how you can mix and match with those jewelry. And that show, I mean, just to be sure, so that we have like 500 plus unique viewer, but the conversion rate is like 26%. It was 282 units sold in less than a 60-minute show. It's amazing. Like, I
Absolutely.
can't, like it sounds like I'm lying, but that's true.
No, no, no.
It sounds like I'm lying because, like, look at that. We have 3% top for e-commerce average conversion rate, and I'm telling you, we have 26 for this client. And this is not the only one that we have more than 20% conversion rate in one live shopping show. So this is the number that I can give you is what you can do with the concept with a new product launch. You have a really dedicated community. It's 500 plus. It's not amazing amount of viewer that many people would expect. Like, can we have like 50K people coming to the show so we can have like more sales? You don't really need that. You need like a really good quality audience that coming here to make a case. Yeah. So here is one example that I can share.
Absolutely. And the point you made, and I think it's very important, because when you, for me, there are two points. It's not just one. 2 points which are very important. One is, and for me, this is really important. Mostly if your company, your brand is not that big. When the owner, the CEO is there taking the lead of the live, I think it's very important. For instance, StreamYard is one of the things usually people point is that the founders here every Monday, Monday, for me it's Monday because it's 2 a.m. But every Sunday they go live and they talk about the new coming things, about the news on the field, everything. They every Sunday they are there talking with the public, which for me, the community, which for me it's truly important. And the second one is this interactivity. When you can say, because okay, I don't know if putting them together will work. No, I can show you if it works. And I think it's very important because, again, you will know the end result, and you are acknowledged. People, oh, she's making that for me. And I think it's one of the magics of live streaming is this opportunity to act and interact in real time, which feels people important. And for instance, it's very hard to do this in a normal e-commerce store, whichever it is. So I think it's a huge advantage. And again, this bring us back to the thing. Just big brands should go live shopping. No, the small brands could take. I think they could even take more advantage of this, because, for instance, by these days we have this lockdown, and people lose the interaction with the barber with the hairdresser, and they keep selling things. And they, I think this could be a huge advantage for this small business, don't you think?
Yeah. Because for small, medium-sized businesses, it works really well just because you can have like a really close bonding to interact with your audience. Like if you're like a really big brand, it's really hard to feel like you related to the brand on the personal level because you can't even know who is designing the things behind that. But with small, medium-sized business, because very often the people founding team who are designing the items is still there, that you're reachable. You can use the live streaming to talk about your story and then to interact and answer questions that your customer has. So I think this is a really great opportunity for small, medium-sized business for that one reason. And for the second one is because if there's like a lot of resources that big company can put on to do different kind of things. And then you on social media, it's hard because there are a lot of, like Marco said, distractions, competition on that. So if you put your resources to build that, it might not be as efficient as to building it on your own website to have your own live shopping show. So I think this is also budget-wise, it's really like make more sense, cost-effective for small, medium-sized business as well.
Absolutely. And again, you talked about these giveaways and everything, and there's again this constant struggle. So time of viewer watch of a video, how long people will stay tuned. Because if you just those first stressing the FOMO, I think it's very important. And I don't know if you know her, Making Tsang. Do you know her?
No, I don't recall. It doesn't ring the bell.
Okay, I have to put it in connection with her, because she was my guest 2 weeks ago, and she's amazing. And she's a FOMO creator, and I think she would be a nice professional for you to know. And first, generate this FOMO. Okay, if I don't watch the show next week, next day, whatever, I will miss something. And then during the show, make the FOMO so people will stay to the end. Okay, at the end, we're gonna make this raffle, this giveaway, this whatever. So you want to stay more time, because I think it's one of the biggest struggles. And again, if we get back to normal social media platforms, you are struggling with so many notifications, with your friends' updates, with your family updates. So it's really important to generate this. And again, if you can make some exclusivity, this could also works well. Do you know any tactics that some companies are working with this?
Yeah, absolutely. That's also something that we always recommend brand to do. It's like to give some exclusive discount. Is that what you're referring to? Like incentive, right? In the end, it comes down to incentive. That's only happened, and we do see, for example, the same example, Jenny Bird, because they did amazing for all of the show that they've done with us. The product launch, and another one that I want to mention is the Christmas special show that she did. Basically, the bundle that she provided in that Christmas show, it's only happened during the live, and then it's end after the live. So this is how you can max the FOMO, right? You, like you mentioned, you have it during the live. It's like, okay, before the show, we're going to have a special bundle that's only going to be released during the live shopping. So because you don't want to miss out on that, you join the show. And then you already joined the show, and then you know that, oh, these bundles only available in these hours. And then after that, it's gone. And you also don't want to miss out on that. So you're going to make a purchase. So this is something that is we're always saying, like having a dedicated bundle for that live streaming show, having a dedicated discount, or having a surprise. It doesn't have to be on price buy or product wise. You can have it like a surprise. For example, invite their favorite people, their favorite human on earth, to give a guest appearance on the show, or to give them a gift. If they make a purchase, then that gift, it's so interesting and it's so unique that you can only get it if you make a purchase during the live show. And then that's another factor or incentive to motivate them to make a purchase during your live shopping show, because of the fear of missing out, right? So this is something that we always recommend, and we can always see whenever there is like exclusive discount go with it, we always have really, really great result for the conversion rate.
Absolutely. And I was thinking one thing that may works well, it's to make exclusive shows. Like, okay, you're on the top customer, so we will do this pre-launching show about this new product or something, even though we may invite everyone. Nobody needs to know. But I think it's important for people to feel this exclusiveness thing. Okay, I'm special. I'm a good customer.
I think exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like when you receive an email saying that, oh, it's your birthday this month, we're going to give you a discount. You do it for everybody's birthday. And we probably know it, but I still feel happy that the brand remembers my birthday and they give me a discount. Well, I might as well buy something. It's the same thing. And I think Marco also brought up a really nice point about the exclusive show. We do see in our client what they do is like they use the live shopping, because essentially another great thing about Livescale compared to existing social media platform. When you go live on Instagram, everybody in your account can see that. There's no way that you can control who can see that. But with us, because when you create a show, you get a URL link, and then you can only share that. You can like choose to share only to the people that you want to for that URL, for that show, for that particular URL link, which allow you to do different kind of VIP shows. And we often see that, for example, there's a skincare company that they have different level of member. And then they provide a really professional section on how to use that skincare product, what are the chemical inside, what are the ingredients, what it does to your skin. And if your skin types is like that, you might want to pick more. Like, it's really, really meaty content. and they serve it only to a premium member instead of like everybody else. And then for those premium member, they feel special because probably because they get into premium because they pay something or like they buy a lot. And they're going to continue buying because being a premium member get exclusive content. So this is also one thing you can achieve with using us compared to using normal social media platform. That's the access is open to everybody and you have no choice on who you want to stream it to.
Absolutely. And the other thing, and I was thinking, is like the organic reaching by those days on Insta on the main platform is so, my God, so awful. So if you have the full control, if you can send the email, for instance, okay, next day, next given day, at that given time, we will go live. You are one of our special customers. Please join us, register. And then one day before, you can send a follow-up email. So don't forget, tomorrow we have this show. Stay tuned because we will be sharing really important things. And then, for instance, 1 hour before the show starts, another reminder. You can't do this on social media because, for instance, you share on Facebook. So next week we'll be live. 1% of your audience will see this post.
This is another point that we brought up, right? You never know if the platform is in favor of you. And we all love Facebook and Instagram. And now we're all complaining about the algorithm of the feed. As a marketer, like as a previous marketer myself, I know exactly what you're talking about. There's just there's no way that you can beat that algorithm game. They just keep changing, that it's tailored to their business goal. And maybe it's time for brand to find a solution that tailored to your business goal too, which gives you a lot of flexibility and the branding power.
Absolutely. So we are almost reaching the end, but before that, we have 2 more things to do. And the first one is 3 reasons for people to try Livescale, Helen.
That's a tough one. I didn't think about
Okay.
that. It's only I think if you already work with influencer, your brand already work with influencer, I can't think of a reason why you should not try it, just because I can tell you for a fact that influencer, which is actually changing from KOL to KOS, working so well in China, in Asia, that it can triple your sales. So it's more like I can't think of a reason for you why you shouldn't. Give it a go and see if it fits your business. Second, if you're struggling with your current social media strategy, whether it's about live streaming or not, and you're struggling either about the reach, the impressions, or like what sort of like more refreshing content you can provide to your audience, then you might want to try live shopping, because you probably reach a point that you understand the social media platform is not something that you can, there's so much you can do, and you have to find a breakthrough for that bottleneck. And live shopping help you to bring the traffic from somewhere that you want, could even from social media, to your website, that it's going to stay. I think relationship is work, all kinds. Relationship on the social media platform, or the relationship with your audience on your own website, it's work too. But think about that. The work on social media platform, like I said, you never know if the platform's going to be in favor of you. If you're going to put out work for that relationship with your customer, you better put out work on something that you know it's going to last. And on your website, you know it's going to last because it's your website. Absolutely. And then the last reason is, if you don't try now, when you are motivated to try, I'll probably say you're probably a bit too late in the game, because it's always good when you're the early ones to try, because there are a lot of things, a lot of helps that you can get in the early stage, and you get a lot of different kind of media values and things like that. And also, people who start Instagram first, you can see now they're the strongest, one of the strongest account, the community, because they started first, because it's really refreshing for them. They're the originals. They're the first ones. Awesome. And when you learn the game in the end, when it's too late, you just like everyone else, then it's really, really hard for you to stand out. So I think that's like, it's not fear of missing out, but sort of same logic. If you don't try, I'm pretty confident if you don't try it now, you're going to have to get onto it at some point. Just like everyone else saying that, oh, we don't need to get on Instagram. It's not our thing. Doesn't fit our brand. In the end, we're all there, is it? So the same thing for live shopping.
Absolutely. Well, you've done pretty well. Even though it's not prepared. But well, if you are watching now and if you have any final question, please drop them, because otherwise you will miss it. Okay. You can, if you are watching the replay, of course, you can drop in comments any questions that, and by the end, Ellen will say how you can find them. But before that, we have something which are the guest suggestions. So let's go. So, Miss Ellen, as usual, you have to drop your suggestions, which are a professional you recommend for people to follow. It could be about live streaming, live shopping, or just something more general. A book, a habit you have, which should be legal and healthy. Because once somebody asked me, can I say smoking? A tool, okay, a movie, and a TV show.
Oh,
Are
that's a lot
you?
of suggestions. I have to give like one of them, or I have to give all of
No,
them?
no, no. You have to cover all of them. No, so don't
Okay,
bother because
I will get many of them.
I will recap one by one. Don't bother. First one, a professional.
You mean a person, right? That I follow
Yes.
a
Yeah,
person.
yeah. You
Oh,
you recommend
I follow many. Well,
two?
Mako.
Okay.
Mako
Okay.
is one of them. Just to give it in the Mako is of course one of them. I just want to give it the context it related to what we're talking about today because that's probably where your interest, the community's interests are today that watching the show. So Mako, you're already following Mako, but another one is the one that we've been mentioned a couple of times already throughout the show, which is who it's Stephanie's. Because I think Stephanie's another really great remote life producer that she has excessive. She has just like so much experience and knowledge in how do you prepare a show, but more than that, before the show, because I don't know if you guys probably didn't join the webinar last time. How amazing she is! Like she can repurpose the live streaming content to 94 pieces of another content. So like from one live streaming video, she can make it another 94 post or 94 pieces of thing that you can utilize in anywhere else. So I think she's really an amazing person. If you're interested in live streaming, live shopping, or live streaming at large, that you will learn a lot about how you can utilize the content, how you can best prepare yourself for it, and then or even like pay media strategy or how you can integrate that live streaming into your brand as part of your brand strategy. And I think she's a really great person to follow to understand like
Absolutely.
her brain.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A book.
A book. There's a book that I read a while ago called Gamification. It's not like a hidden gem. I think it's a gem that everybody knows. It's a book about how to gamify. Okay, the author played a video game for so long, and he's trying to get something out of it. So he was thinking why I was so obsessed with the video game, and then he tried to apply this theory to business, to product. So how you can make your product really fun to play? It's gamification. You have some badges system. So if I do a certain amount, if I do a number of shows, I'm going to go from a beginner to a master. That might be something that is fun for them to do so they're motivated. If you want to get your audience to finish the registration process, maybe make a little animation there that's like put closes. It's like, okay, finish each step is like putting on closes to get ready for whatever that you want them to get ready for. It's just to make it fun for them. So this book, Gamification, I think is really fun because it is tailored to people who in product, so you can learn how to adopt it while you're doing your product strategies and planning. But I do think it's about everything. If you're UI designer, you're UX designer, user experience, you're a marketer, how do you make it fun for people? That's gamify the experience so they enjoy while you get what you want. So I think that's a really great book.
Absolutely. And for trainings and teachers, I think it's a must-read book. Perfect. A tool.
A tool. I'm just like going through my phone right now for a tool that I use. Well, I'm sorry for being very boring on my recommendation. A tool that I'm currently using, it's called Notion. It's an app that you can put notes. There's so many different things that you can do with it, but the main feature that I use with Notion is like a notepad. If you have using a product like Evernote, it's almost similar, but it's just with a really neat and clean user interface and more like fun addition that you can use with like icons and adding different kind of tables and stuff on the Notion, and you have like a little sidebar that keep things very organized. So I think that's the tool that I've been really obsessed with lately.
Perfect. And a habit.
A habit. I try to do. Because I work a lot because I like to work, but that's make me lack of time to do a lot of readings and stuff. So a habit that I have is I set an alarm that happens 3 times a day. That I have to read 15 minutes because I have a huge backlog of articles that I want to read online, and I store them all in a little folder. So in that 15 minutes, I would just go to that folder and then start picking and then read for 15 minutes, and then I go back to work. And I think since I started doing that, it helps me a lot to not just to focus at my work, which I absolutely enjoy, but also to get more new information, because it's also really important to help me to do my job well as well.
Absolutely. I think this is crucial. And by these days that random algorithms choose what we should listen and read and everything. So I think it's very important to make this crossed approach. A movie.
A movie. I haven't. Okay, I just rewatched a movie recently that it's from a great animator Miyazaki from Japan. So if you guys have Netflix, for example, you'll be able to watch, because it's recently made available on Netflix for many of his great animation cartoons, like Spirited Away. It's like I want to recommend that because I think if you have kids at home, it's a really interesting movie that you can watch with your kids, and they will experience very different thing. Then if you guys have watched Inside Out, it's almost the same thing. As an adult watching Inside Out, the movie from Pixar, you feel different things than as a kid watching the movie Inside Out. It's the same thing with Spirited Away, or I would say every movie that Miyazaki have done. It's a really great director and a really great movie.
Perfect. And a TV show.
A TV show. So I just finished Mandalorian, so I'm just gonna go with it. So Mandalorian is on Disney Plus. Mandalorian, I think it's pretty cool. Baby, don't bombard me. I didn't know about Yoda before that, so that's the first time I know about Yoda, and I'm very happy that the baby Yoda is my first introduction to it. So I think it's a really great show. It's relaxed me a lot while I was watching that. It's a nice change of information.
Perfect. Thank you for your recommendations. And now it's time to tell people where they can find you.
Absolutely.
And Livescale, of course.
Absolutely. So you can easily find us on livescale.tv. If you want to book a demo with us, you want to know more about our solution, go straight away to livescale.tv. That's where you can see all kind of information, what kind of features we have, different kind of clients, case studies. You can see actually how they performs in different show, what sort of formats that they did, or what sort of equipment that they used for their live shopping show. And you felt like, oh, I'm not quite there yet. I'm still in like exploration phase. I want to know a bit more about live shopping. Feel free to go to academy.livescale.tv. So we have different things like live feed, which is the newsletter or live shopping report, how I like to call that I wrote every other week. That what I do there is like I basically take what is happening in Asia and I try to decode it into something that meaningful for businesses in the West, because something that is just we have to filter out things that's not going to fit in the culture. So we're doing a job for you with live feed. You can subscribe to our newsletter. You'll be able to get those information. We also have webinar, like the other two that we did with Mako. It's all about live streaming, live shopping, best practices, kind of information that you will need. You want to understand if that is fitting your brand. We answer a lot of pain points or like doubts in live shopping in those webinars as well. And then we also have a massive amount of tutorials on academy.livescale.tv, which is we made it for live shopping, but honestly, it's a lot overlap with live streaming. So if you're not ready for live shopping yet, you just want to see a little bit of the tutorial to have a sense of it, you can go on to check out our tutorial session as well. You will also be able to have like a little sense of like, oh, what I can do with live shopping and what sort of like situation that I will be facing.
Absolutely. And I think you have something tomorrow at the clubhouse.
Oh, yes. Thank you for giving me another opportunity to do the advertising. So a really great member in our company, Madison's, is hosting a Clubhouse Power Hour every Friday. So if you guys are on Clubhouse, you can search Madison, or like me, Helen Lam, you also be able to find us. Or actually, I'm going to comment in that thread after the show. You guys will be able to go to the show.
Perfect.
Yeah, amazing. So tomorrow what we're going to talk about is like how what is happening, the trend in China for live shopping or for different things, and then what does it mean for the West? Is again because we always try to get example from China, is because if you want to be ahead of the game, apart from being innovative yourself by using live scale, you also have to really keep ahead of the trend. And then China apparently is like few years ahead in the game. And how can you take that here and be the first? So this will be something that we're focusing a lot tomorrow in the power hours in Clubhouse, to talk about everything, all things live shopping, and then the trend in China as well.
Perfect. Perfect. Helen, thank you so much for everything you share with us. So tomorrow it will start more or less at this time. Okay.
And noon. Noon. Oh yeah, same time now. If you're in Europe, it's the
Yes.
same time now. But at noon,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So stay tuned, Clubhouse. Find Helen Lam. And thank you so much. We will keep in touch, of course. Then I will help you to reach out to Lillian. Thank you so much for all of you who are watching us now on live or then on replay. Then please reach out to Livescale, because this could be a nice thing to your business, a good advantage for you to keep in touch and keep selling to your audience. Okay, so I will be back next week with more guests. On Tuesday, I will have Teams on. We will talk about home working and home parenting and everything. And on Thursday, I will have again Christopher Trapp to talk about this new book, live streaming and podcast. So stay tuned, because I'll be back. Bye bye.
Thanks again for having me. Bye, guys.
Thank you.